Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is What If Naruto Gained God Key Part 2. Last time we left off with Naruto beating the two demon brothers in front of Sasuke, and Sasuke was really confused on how Naruto was able to actually beat both of them so quickly without him even noticing him moving. Yes, Naruto was fast enough to actually not even be seen. So, of course, Kakashi saw it, and the demon brothers were able to see it, but it was way too fast for them to dodge it. So they actually got hit by Naruto. First, he kicks the one on the left, and then he roundhouse kicks the other one in the air, and then Naruto basically what he does is he ties up one of them and then puts a kunai to his neck and says, "You give up or he dies." And since the loyalty between them binds them, well, I'll say the two demon brothers actually are loyal to each other. He's like, "Alright, I give up." And Naruto binds them both and says, "Hey Kakashi Sensei, you can come out now," because Naruto's meditation training actually increased his sensory abilities, like I said before. So now Naruto was able to actually sense Kakashi in the trees, even though Kakashi was hiding most of his presence. Kakashi wasn't expecting Naruto to actually be able to sense him. So Kakashi praises him and praises Sasuke and Sakura for staying back and protecting Tazuna. And Naruto says, "Well, I guess we can work as a team," but in reality Naruto actually went way too fast for them to even notice. So Sasuke was just standing there while Sakura was just scared, and they keep going. They leave the demon brothers alone, so they tie them up and say, whoever comes, they can take their bounty, we don't care. And Naruto's like, "We'll let you live for a few more days until someone decides to kill you." And demon brothers plead for their freedom. They said they won't do it again, and Naruto's like, "Maybe if when we come back this way you're still here, we'll let you go free." And when everyone turns around, Naruto turns back. Well, I'll say that once Team 7's a bit far, Naruto throws a kunai and lets them go. And the kunai had a note saying, "If I find out you guys are doing anything bad, I'll come and get you, and I'll murder you myself." And they understand, and they actually are grateful to Naruto, and they go on their own way to become normal people, ninjas who actually help out. And Naruto catches up with the team and says, "Sorry guys, I needed to take a leak," and they're like, "Alright, it's fine." So they keep going until they arrive at a lake, or not a lake, I meant they arrive at a yeah, a lake, sorry, a lake, yeah. So they have to cross the lake, and Tazuna actually rings the bell. There was like a pole with a bell where if you ring it, the boatman will hear it and come to you. So Tazuna rings it, and the boatman came, and they all go on the boat. They crossed the river and they thanked the boat guy, and they never saw him again. So small screen time. Anyways, they keep walking until thick fog falls upon them. Naruto is actually trying to he can feel this fog is not normal. It's actually engulfed with chakra, and Naruto says, "Hey Kakashi Sensei, I don't think this is normal." And Kakashi actually knows as well. He can feel the chakra in the smoke and also the bloodlust around them. And Naruto says, "Is there a way to dispel this?" And Kakashi's like, "Yeah, let me quickly do it." And what he does is basically he stumps his foot on the ground and says, "Wind style, wind." Wind typhoon. It was an actual typhoon. He actually it was just a bit of a bit of a a bit of wind which dispelled most of the fog. And then Naruto noticed straight away where this bloodlust was coming, and threw a kunai at top speeds. And it wasn't actually at top speeds, remember, he only trained mostly in meditation, so he threw a kunai. It was still slow, it wasn't as fast as and it wasn't as strong and engulfed with chakra like most kunais would be. And Still, the kunai went in the bush, and then a rabbit came out, and Sakura started screaming at Naruto and telling him that rabbit could have got killed. But then Sasuke tells her, "Wait, that rabbit, it's white, and we're in the middle of spring. Is that normal, Kakashi Sensei?" And Naruto's like, "Wait, it's not normal," because he didn't know. He's still stupid. So Kakashi then is like, "Yeah, it's not normal, to be honest, and I believe that is that kind of animal was kept in a cage to be used as a transformation jutsu. Let's be on guard." And then while Kakashi was talking to them, he then Naruto tells everyone to duck down, and Kakashi looks back and sees and ducks down as well. So then Zabuza arrives. Well, he appears, and Kakashi's like, "Stand back, guys. I got this one." And then Zabuza's like, Kakashi of the Sharingan. Now I thought I'll see you here. And Sasuke heard that and it's like, Sharingan? Wait, what? Kakashi, what? And then Kakashi's like, the silent killer of the mist, Zabuza. Now I thought I'll find you. And they start fighting, and Kakashi gets his Sharingan out, and Naruto's surprised, and he's like, "Wait, Sasuke, you never told us Kakashi Sensei was an Uchiha." And Sakura says, "Yeah, we never knew." And Sasuke's like, I've never seen him in the Uchiha clan, but how?" And then while Kakashi was fighting, of course he slips up and gets imprisoned by Zabuza. And then Naruto's like, "Well, there's no time to talk. Look, Kakashi Sensei was caught. We need to help him." And Naruto devises a plan. Zabuza actually gives them an offer. He's like, give me the old man, and I'll give you back your sensei. Or maybe I'll have to take both. I'm giving you one chance here, kids. You have a choice." And Zabuza was actually being serious of giving them a chance, because he doesn't want to waste too much time by killing every single one of them. They'll just be in the way, so he'd rather just exchange Kakashi for Zabuza. And then Naruto's like, nope. And then he throws some smoke bombs, and then out of nowhere, two shurikens, well, one massive shuriken, the wind shuriken, he actually came out of the smoke. And Zabuza was about to dodge, but then Zabuza just jumped up without taking his hand off of the water prison. He just jumped and said, "Your aim is pretty bad, kid. You should have aimed higher. Just high enough to get my head. Or maybe even my chest." And then Sasuke's like, "I wasn't aiming for you." And he realizes, and then Naruto, the shuriken actually transforms back into Naruto, and Naruto throws a kunai, which Zabuza has to take his hand out of the water prison, and Kakashi is freed, and then starts fighting again immediately. And Zabuza is actually losing here, because Zabuza wasn't expecting this, and he wasn't on guard as much as he should have been, and he thought they were just a bunch of useless genin, but he found out that they were actually really good tacticians, even though Naruto made it. Naruto is really underrated, especially kid Naruto. Like, his tactics weren't the best, but in this moment, how he and Sasuke came up with it. Okay, if Sasuke was in it, but still, how Naruto actually thought of transforming into a shadow, or into a shuriken, was actually really smart. And Naruto and Sasuke gave each other a smirk, and then out of nowhere, Zabuza was his back was against a tree, a massive one, to say, and he was about to get a Chidori in the heart, but out of nowhere, two needles hit Zabuza's neck, and then an Ambu arrives and says, "Thank you for your help. I've been trying to catch Zabuza for more than 3 months now. He's always been on the run." and Kakashi checks if he's dead. And if I can recall correctly, last time I watched Naruto was a long time ago. I mostly remember from memory, and Kakashi checks and doesn't feel any heartbeat, and I believe Haku hit to a part of the neck where he makes it seem like he's not his heart is not beating anymore and he's dead, but it's actually temporary. So that's why Haku was in a hurry and says, anyway, I'll be taking the body back to the Mist Village, thank you for your cooperation. And Haku just disappears using body flicker, and then Kakashi collapses, and Team 7 and even Tazuna go to him, and Kakashi's like, yeah, I'm alright, I just need a bit of a rest. And Tazuna's like, how about I take you back to my home for a few days, you can rest there. And they go to Tazuna's place, and Naruto still meets Inari, and Inari is still like, oh, why are you guys trying to be heroes, you should just go, Gato will just kill you all just like he did my father. And Naruto's like, we're not trying to be heroes here, kid, we're trying to help you. And Inari is like, you're just stupid ninjas, you're just going to kill yourself like this, why are you doing this? And he runs away. And then even at dinner, he's like, Inari was throwing a tantrum, and then Naruto actually couldn't take it anymore. He's like, listen kid, you're not the only one who had to go without a father, there are plenty of people in our village too who didn't have a mother or a father, not even a grandfather like you. Imagine those kids, imagine what they had to go through, and you're complaining about losing your father. Imagine those kids who don't even know who their parents are. And Inari actually takes this to heart and actually thinks to what he's actually doing, because he's actually fortunate to still have his mother and his grandfather, and to actually have met his father. And Naruto actually doesn't eat after that. He's like, I'm not hungry anymore, and he's gone to his room. And then Kakashi actually thinks to this and says, Naruto has a point. He's never met his parents, has he? And since he knows that Naruto is actually the fourth Hokage's, no, Minato's son, and Minato and Kushina died in the Nine Tails attack on Naruto's birthday. So then the next day, Kakashi starts the Team 7 training for tree walking, and Naruto actually was able to do it a bit faster than Sasuke. No, I'm saying, sorry. I meant Sakura was able to do it normally, like in one day. Naruto actually was a bit better than Sasuke, but Sasuke actually caught up real fast, and Naruto was always stuck in that one loop where he gets to this one spot, and then his chakra starts going rampage, and he puts too much, and then he can't control that much chakra on his feet, and he just falls. While Sasuke, little by little, he started catching up, and in the end he finished. And Naruto it took Naruto the whole night to actually do it. And while he was doing it, he actually met Haku, and Haku said, actually told him, oh, do you have a special, he told him about, or if you have a special one, you're stronger because you want to protect them. And Naruto says, I don't really have a family or anything, so I guess not. And but you could say my friends are my special ones, and I want to protect them. And Haku says, see, your friends are going to make you stronger one day. And then Haku says, well, anyway, I have to go, I've collected my herbs, I'll see you around. What's your name again? And Naruto says, oh, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I'll be Hokage someday. And Haku says, good luck with that, and he goes off. And Naruto says, maybe one more time, and this time he's actually able to do it. And just saying, here the story is actually a lot similar, and you'll understand why, because Naruto hasn't really used his God Key form. Remember, he can only tap into it once he's like in a crisis situation. And just saying, last time I said red hair. I don't know why I said red hair. What because it's not Goku's God Key, and it's not a Saiyan God Key. It's actually the God of Destruction Key. I just realized that, and I was wrong. His aura is actually like Beerus's. You know how his aura is purple? Yeah, his aura is like that, just a bit more orangey, and you'll understand what happens in the Zabuza fight. So Naruto keeps training. He's able to do it, but then he actually took way more days. He wasn't able to do it completely, and he took the rest of the 3 days and he mastered it. But he was really tired that night. So the next day he woke up late, and Team 7 left without him, saying, "Oh, he'll just catch up with us. He knows where the bridge is now." And Naruto actually wakes up because he heard Inari say, "Don't hurt us." Inari's mom saying, "Don't hurt us, please." And Naruto's like, "Oh no, hell no." So since Naruto's actually a lot faster here, he doesn't even need shadow clones. He actually was able to knock both of them out and tie them up to a pole, and then tight enough that they wouldn't be able to get out. And Naruto actually disarmed them of anything. He only kept their clothes on them, and he even checked in case they have pockets with maybe razors or something. You never know. So then Naruto's like, "You guys can take care of them, right? If they wake up, just bash them with a frying pan, and knock them out again." And is that I'll be sure to do that. And Naruto's like, protect your mother, little kid." And then Naruto goes off. Of course, before he went, he actually took the breakfast that his mom left him on the table. It was a toast, and he had the toast in his mouth, and he finished it. And then he finished it by the time he got there. And once he got there, he saw Sasuke trapped in this jutsu with mirrors around him, and he's like, "What is that?" And then he goes to Sakura and sees that Kakashi is actually fighting Zabuza, and goes to Sakura and asking what's happening. And Sakura's like, "Sasuke is trapped in that jutsu. It was the guy from the other day, the one that took Zabuza away." And of course they already knew that that must have been Zabuza's subordinate, and yeah, so they were expecting this. And Naruto actually says, "All right, I'll go in, I'll go help Sasuke." And um, Naruto went in, and Sasuke's like, "What are you doing here?" And Naruto's like, "I'm going to try to help you." And Naruto's stuck as well now, so they are kind of effed, freaked. So in the end, Naruto actually shows that he has a lot of strength, and he actually was able to crack one of the ice mirrors with his strength, but of course he wasn't able to destroy it. It was just a small crack, and Haku realized this and said, "I'm sorry, Naruto, but I have to do this." He mumbled it to himself. Of course, he doesn't want Naruto to understand that he's Haku. So he throws a bunch of needles at him at top speeds, and Sasuke still pushes him back and takes all the needles. And Naruto's like, "Why?" And Sasuke's like, "I'm not sure, my body moved on its own." And then he collapses, which pisses off Naruto, literally to an extent, to let out some of the Nine Tails' chakra. I think it was One Tails. Yeah, whatever. So Naruto is in the Chroma Chakra cloak, and yeah, pretty OP. Um, okay, so Naruto is not in a normal Kurama Chakra cloak. It's not red. It's not orange. It's actually red with some sparkles in it, and with a God of Destruction like aura around it. So Naruto actually has tapped into the Beerus's strength, and this was felt by godlike beings all around the universe, even Whis. Well, there are, of course, the Naruto verse and the Dragon Ball verse are completely different, but here I'm saying that the Naruto verse is actually in the Dragon Ball verse as well. So I'll say that the Naruto verse was completely before the Saiyans and everything. It was actually no, actually, I'll say that Naruto's is not Naruto's planet. It's on in a different dimension, a similar dimension. It's like another galaxy in Universe 7. So it's a galaxy with an Earth like uh, Earth, but they call it Earth as well, with the moon and everything, with the sun and everything, same planets as well. So it was like a mirror, just like Universe 6 and 7, but still different, because here there are ninjas, not bloody Saiyans anyways. So even Whis saw what was happening, and Whis is like, oh my, that kid's using Beerus's key. This might get interesting. Of course, Whis will not actually train Naruto. He will just look after him, like from far away, in case Naruto's power goes completely out of control, because it's Beerus's strength. And Whis is actually really impressed on how Naruto's still alive with such godly strength inside of him. And just saying, Hogoromo knows about Beerus. Just saying. This is completely the messed up universe. Anyway. So Whis is looking at the fight, and he can see that Naruto is actually using the strength of the God of Destruction, and every time he actually, instead of breaking the glass, the ice mirrors, he actually erases them. Yes, he erases them, and basically Haku is confused on what's happening. They're not melting, they're not breaking, they're just disappearing, so he doesn't want to get hit by Naruto right now. And basically Naruto was able to scratch Haku's mask, and Haku didn't know what's going to happen, so he actually let go of his mask, and his mask disappeared. And then Naruto realized Naruto's god key ran out here. Not the actual key, like he couldn't use it for any longer. His body was taking too much of a strain, so his own body is like, nah bro, no more. And then he's holding Haku down. Naruto looks at his face and is like, wait, Haku? And the Konoha Chakra goes back inside Naruto and is like, wait, what? And then Haku explains that explains everything that Zabuza is. That he explains. He explains that Zabuza is precious one. He'd do anything for him, and that he's like his father figure. And out of nowhere, they hear the sound of 1,000 birds, and Kakashi was just hoping Naruto can control the Nine Tails for now. And he looks back. He looked back once and saw that Naruto's on top of the Haku, the Anbu, quote unquote. So Kakashi could go all out again, and he's about to kill Zabuza, but then Naruto sees that Haku disappeared from his grasps, and Haku takes the the Chidori to his chest, and he got destroyed. Yeah, and Naruto still gives his speech, and out of nowhere, Gato's men appear and say, we weren't gonna pay Zabuza anyway. You just did our dirty work. That's one pest gone. Let's get done with the second one. So they start attacking Zabuza. Zabuza goes in all out without thinking of any defense, and Naruto's pissed off here as well, because he just realized that Gato used them, and basically the Haku died in vain. And he's like, I won't let Haku die in vain. And he has an aura now, and Whis is still looking at the fight, and he can see that Naruto's controlling the aura, not fully, because he can Whis can feel how like even a bit of Beerus's ki is a shizer ton of ki. So he can see that Naruto is only able to control not even a fraction of it, a fraction of a fraction. So I'll say that 0.01% of Beerus's ki, Naruto's only able to wield 0.0%. I'll say that, no, actually 0.5% of Beerus's ki. And Whis is actually really impressed by Naruto, how such young kid is able to actually control such strength. And Whis is like, maybe I should give him a few tips. Me and my lords are asleep. And he's like, first let me watch this. So Whis is actually planning on going and giving Naruto a visit one day. And yes, I did say he's not going to train him. I lied. So Naruto is actually fighting with Zabuza, actually protecting him. He's actually erasing the weapons of the others. And once he came to Gato, Naruto's like, hey, Zabuza, can I finish him? And Zabuza is like, I can see you're making things disappear after I kill him, make his body disappear. He doesn't even deserve to stay on this earth. And Naruto's like, I'm not sure how I'm doing this, but alright. So Gato gets killed, and then Zabuza throws him to Naruto, and Naruto literally punches, Naruto just, it's like Naruto's hand whoops through Gato, literally. He touches Gato slightly, and Gato disappears, and now black lightning appears all around Naruto's body, and he screams, and he falls to the ground. He's nearly unconscious, and he's on his knees, and he realizes he used this power way too much for his body to handle. And Zabuza says, "You're right, kid," coughing out blood, because Naruto was able to protect Zabuza mostly, but still he did get injured a lot. And he goes back to Haku, lies next to him, and says, "I'm coming with you, Haku. Just wait for me." And he passes away, and Naruto actually was able to stand up thanks to Kakashi. Kakashi's tired, but he's able to help out Naruto. And then Naruto says, "Is Sasuke alright?" And then Tazuna says, "Yeah, he is. We took out the needles while you were fighting. He's still alive. He's just a bit injured." And Naruto realized that Haku wasn't even trying to kill Naruto or Sasuke. He was just trying to put them out of the fight so they wouldn't gain the way. They wouldn't gain the way. And Naruto's like, even as he was fighting, he tried to protect us at the same time. Wow. And Naruto's like, they deserve a burial, and they get buried. And of course, Naruto and his team stay for a few more days. They get healed up, and also they have to protect Tazuna just in case some men come back. Some Tazuna's, let's say Tazuna's brother or something comes to get him or something. I don't even know. So nothing happens, and they go back, and Naruto goes back, and they get a full week off. And in that week, they were meant to find out about the tuning exams the day after they came back, but of course, so they had like 3 weeks, 2 weeks of training. But of course, in the end, Kakashi's like, I'll tell them next week, who cares, they should be training anyway. So he takes a week off, and on the day that they were meant to find out, so the first day after they came back, so they came back on a Sunday, so Monday to Sunday was free, so they had 2 weeks anyway off because of the tuning exam. So Naruto goes back to his home to find someone sitting on a stick. He says, "Wait, who are you, and what are you?" Like, he's actually scared because he's never seen such a being, and he can't really feel anything from him. He can't feel any bloodlust. He can only see the man smiling, and Naruto actually tries to attack him, and Whis actually dodges. He was sitting on his staff, and he stood up, and he actually dodged and says, "You got some pretty nice moves, kid, but you're just swinging around, aren't you?" And Naruto's like, "No, I'm using taijutsu, look." And he just swings around. And Whis is like, "Hey, how about we stop here? I'm just here to talk to you." And Naruto can feel the warmth in Whis' voice, like a teacher, like it's like a teacher talking to his student or something. And then Whis says, "I've seen your fight with Zabuza, or that man that died a few days ago." And Naruto's like, and Haku as well. And Naruto's like, yeah, alright. And then Whis goes, has a serious tone now, and it's like, "Do you even know what you were using back then?" And Naruto's like, it's like a Kekkei, and Whis already knows what Kekkei is. Come on, he's an angel, he knows most of this stuff. And then Whis is like, "You're completely wrong. Should I show you someone who has the same exact power as you?" Naruto's like, "Wait, there's other people?" And Whis is like, "Well, he's not really a person, he's more like a god." Well, he is a god, to be honest, a god of destruction, of course. And Naruto's like, "Wait, what?" And Whis shows him with his staff that 12 years ago, when he was born, Beerus actually destroyed the planet in a different dimension, in a different galaxy, and he actually opened up a rift, and Beerus was still destroying that planet, and the rift was actually sucking a bit of his ki, and well, not sucking it just his ki was overflowing because Beerus just woke up, and he's like, yeah, let me destroy this and that and this, you know what I mean? So this was before Dragon Ball, just saying. I'll say this was completely before Dragon Ball, before Beerus. It was, I'll say it was 12 years before Beerus went to sleep. Yes, I'll say that Naruto is older than Goku and everyone. Like his dimension is completely ahead of Goku's time. So his dimension is 12 years ahead of Goku's time. So no wait, I don't even know, bro. I don't want to do the math. So I'll say that Naruto's world's a bit ahead of, a few years ahead of Goku's one. So then Whis is like, so I guess you never knew that this power is not really yours. It's actually the God of Destruction's one. You know, I could just take her away. I could just take her away from you, but I want to know how you're able to control it. And if I feel like you are worthy of keeping it, you may keep it yourself. And Naruto's like, well, you see, as a kid, I think I used it once, but it was completely different, and I wasn't destroying, I wasn't making things disappear, and I guess now I understand it's actually destroying it. And Whis is like, this power can be used in different ways. It's not just for destroying. And Naruto's like, wait, for real? And Whis is like, I guess you never knew that. How about I teach you for the next 2 weeks, or for the months coming ahead? I'm sure there's something that's going to make you have to come to me again. Whis already knows like what's gonna happen in the future, just saying, because he did ask, and he can predict the future. I'll just say that he has foresight. I'll say he's a special angel. Anyway, and he can see that Naruto will train with Jiraiya, and he's like, how about I train you for a bit? Not so I'll train you for the next 2 weeks, and then you can do whatever and find the new master, because I'm not going to be here for the next 3 years after these 2 weeks. And Naruto's like, alright, I mean, you're strong, you were able to dodge all my punches. And Naruto actually learns a lot about God Ki and everything, that he's basically a divine being now. And Naruto's actually really stoked about this, and Kurama actually heard all of this, and he's like, I've heard legends about God of Destructions, I've heard myths back in the days, years, eons ago. I've never knew if they were true. Guess this kid is something different. If he's able to control such destructive power, he could just destroy me at any time. He doesn't even need me. And but then his ego just gets over him, and he's like, what am I saying? This kid's never going to be able to control this power, especially if he can't control mine. And Naruto's actually improving, not controlling God Ki or like just how to. He's actually improving on how to use God Ki to increase his stamina, his strength, his speed, and everything, all of that. In 1 week he's able to learn that, and in the next week he's been told about the tuning exams, and he's like, wait, but it's such a coincidence that the tuning exams are after our training. And Whis is that, I already knew about this, I just didn't want to tell you. And Naruto's like, wow, just how much do you know? And Whis knows, I know up to a lot about you. So anyways, let's keep training. And Naruto keeps training with Whis. Whis is actually trying to teach Naruto how to use, how to allow his body to control itself. So, you know, Ultra Instinct and that. And Naruto is actually able to learn a lot of martial arts, and well, it's basically a taijutsu for them. And he's not able to, he's nowhere near Goku's level, but I'm just saying, like, he's actually getting the hang of using, allowing his body to control itself, even though he doesn't have UI. It's just that he's trying his best, but in reality he's actually still thinking. And we see that it's not something that comes easily. Like the God of Destruction, Beerus, Lord Beerus, has been training for millions of years and still hasn't achieved it. And not just that, wow, if I achieve it, will something happen to me? And Whis is like, maybe you might be able to even beat the God of Destructions if you master this power. And Naruto's like, I wish I can verse him one day. And Whis is like, maybe once it's stronger, I might arrange a little meeting with you guys, since Lord Beerus doesn't know about this yet. So anyways, Naruto keeps training for the 1 week, and the 1 week ends, and Whis like, I'll come back in 1 year. Once in 1 year I'll come back. I said 2, I said 3, but I'll see you. 1 year is enough. And yes, he's going to be training Naruto with Jiraiya as well. Jiraiya and him will become friends, just saying. Anyway, that was a little spoiler. So that's where I'm going to end it. I bet you guys weren't expecting any of this. You weren't expecting it. If you were, I don't know what you are. Probably stalkers. You probably watched me while writing my script. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Please subscribe to Retreat, subscribe to me, subscribe to Minherman123, and also it's your boy. His link is in one of my community posts. I think it was yesterday's. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Please take care, stay safe, or join my Discord server. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All links in the descriptions. Let's get to 1.4k by the end of June. Also, subscribe to Retreat. Get him to 250 subscribers by the end of June as well, and 200 subscribers for Miniman by the end of June. Let's see if we can all do that together. Hope you all enjoyed. Please take care, stay safe. This was the King of Weebs here, and peace.